We're given equation x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 5y equals negative 1/4. We're asked to find the standard equation, the center, the radius, and the graph. This is the equation of a circle in messed up form. We need to get it into standard form. Then we'll be able to answer all the questions. Now you need to remember what standard form is for a circle centered at HK with radius r. It is x minus h parentheses squared plus y minus k parentheses squared equals r squared. To do this, first we're going to gather all of the x's together in parentheses plus all of the y's together in parentheses equals the other side, negative 1/2. Now we're going to bring down x squared plus 6x, add half the coefficient of x, which is 6. So add half of 6 bracket squared. Now here bring down the y squared minus 5y plus 1/2 times the coefficient negative 5 bracket squared. Add that to both sides, not just the left but the other side also. So we're adding bracket 1/2 times 6 bracket squared plus bracket 1/2 times negative 5 bracket squared. Now simplify inside the brackets only on both sides. So that's 3 squared. And then we also have bracket negative 5/2 squared. Do that to the other side. Bring down the equal sign, the negative 1/2 plus 3 squared plus bracket negative 5/2 squared. Now we're going to factor the two parentheses on the left. It will factor using the formula as x plus whatever's in the bracket, including the sign 3 squared, plus y. Then you're going to add whatever's in the bracket. There's a negative 5/2 in the bracket, so you're going to add negative 5/2, which is the same as subtracting it. So it's parenthesis y minus 5/2, close your parenthesis and square it. So you notice the squares are on the outside. Equals, bring down the negative 1/4, and now simplify the 3 squared plus the negative 5/2 squared. So you're going to be adding 9 plus 25/4. Need a common denominator to put those together. So we have x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5/2 squared equals 15 when you get the common denominator and add everything on the right side. Okay, now compare this to the standard equation we wrote near the top. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. You'll see that h is a number being subtracted from x in the standard equation near the top. So what number is being subtracted from x in the parenthesis x plus 3? The answer is negative 3. So our h value is negative 3, and our k value is a number being subtracted from y. That's a positive 5/2. So that gives us a center. hk is equal to negative 3 comma 5/2. Now, since we have to graph this, let's write 5/2 as a mixed number by taking the top 5 and dividing by the bottom 2. That gives us 2.5. That'll make it easier to graph. The radius, well, you know, the radius is the square root of the number on the right side of the equation in the box. Why is that? Because standard form says the right side is r squared. How do you find r if you have r squared? You take the square root. So the square root of the right side is the square root of 15. And in order to graph that, all you need to do is remember that the square root of 15 is just a little bit less than the square root of 16, and we know that that's equal to 4. Therefore, our radius is just a distance a little bit smaller than 4 units. Okay, let's graph this. We're going to make the y-axis, the x-axis, put some marks, figure out which numbers are important, and write those numbers. Graph the center hk, negative 3, comma 2.5. Measure the square root of 15, which is just a little bit less than 4 units. Top, bottom, right, left, to mark the points on the top. From the center, measure a little bit less than 4 units. Top, bottom, right, and left. And then connect them together with a smooth curve to get your circle. And put a box around your answer. All finished.